I just took this up the hill for a bit of a spin, and it seems a bit gutless. I don't know what it is. It seems as if it's got no get up and go. It could be that somebody's changed the transfer case and I'm not familiar with that, but I'm going to have a look at that later. As you can see, I've got the bonnet off, which makes life a lot more interesting. But before I took it for a little run, and I didn't go very far, I thought I'd have a look at the oil. Take the magic wand out, give it a wipe, clean. Car's been stood 10 minutes. It's just to say wet on the bottom of the dipstick. Ah, that probably accounts for why it wasn't leaking. It's already leaked out. Now, that's a cause for concern. It really is. And it could be a cause for concern as why it's got smoke. It's burning a bit of oil maybe. I don't know. Now, what am I doing here? Making comforty. The coolant in it was a bit suspect, so I'm going to use a piece of rag, not paper towel this time because I don't want the paper to fall in the coolant. I'm going to take the cap off. I'm going to dip the coolant. Now this car's come all the way, it's done 100 kilometres, and I put my finger in that coolant and it's stone cold. Look at the drips. See the colour? There's no coolant in there. Well, should I say, there is coolant in it, but there's no anti-corrosive in it as far as I can tell. There's no press stone, which for Canada is critical. Yeah. So I think what I'll do, first of all, I'll do a series of tests, and I want to take the starter off, but I also want to get it running. But the thing is, what I'll do first of all is I'll get my pressure tester out for the coolant and see if there's any external leaks. Because when I took the cap off this morning, it usually goes with pressure. Ooh, wasn't any. And by putting your finger in the reservoir just then, it's stone cold. Have they taken the thermostat out? Who knows? Like, the engine's warm, but the expansion's cold. Now that doesn't mean to say that you know, there's circulation constantly through the expansion tank, but it's funny that it's absolutely stone cold. You would have thought there would have been a bit of thermal current going through it. But when I look at the hose, somebody's put a brand new Land Rover genuine hose on the bottom hose. Well, of course it's on the bottom hose. But they haven't clipped it to the bottom of the radiator, you know, the cowling. So it's dangling down. Has it got an airlock in it? Who knows, the secret of the black magic box. Let me get my testing kit out. I've got 15 psi on the in the reservoir. And so far there are no leaks. No, can't see any. I'm paying particular attention to this P gasket. There's nothing there, there's no leaks anywhere to be seen. The heck's that down there? Oh, it's a spare light fitting. Where's my bin? Yeah, no, it's holding up pressure. That's a good thing. I'm going to leave it on for a little while. I'm seriously, like I say, thinking that all fluids should be changed in this. You know, God knows when it was changed last. And a flush out with a transmission. Now, I did do a little, like I said, I did a little drive up the hill, and it seemed to drive quite well. A little bit underpowered, but like I said, I don't know what it's like. But it was a bit clunky. It was a bit clunky when you were driving it. So when we get it on the lift, we'll have a look underneath and see about the transfer case, if the spline is a bit worn. I don't know. They've obviously changed the shafts, or not changed the shaft, but they've changed the flanges on the wheels. That might eliminate a bit of it, but again, until we get underneath the car, we're only just guessing. What I'm going to do first of all, whilst it's on the deck, I want to take the starter off. So I'm going to disconnect the battery. I'm going to pull the air cleaner system off, and we're going to have a look at all that. Put the air cleaner off. We're going to put our finger inside there. We've got oil. I'm going to do my rag. God damn it. Anyway, we're going to have a look at the air cleaner itself. See if it's been changed. No. See, you run across the car with a steam cleaner. I'm looking for my rag. Oh, there it is. Hello. You run across a steam cleaner with a car, you know, and it looks all great, but once you're actually getting inside things, this is the joke about bloody cleaning cars in Canada, because they're obsessed with cleaning the cars for mud. It's all got sucked in the air cleaner. That has not been changed. See, it's probably new. Look at the state of that. It's a genuine filter, so I'm probably right. Right, that needs changing. Oh, look at that. Oh, you probably can't see, but oh, there you go. Africa. So that's that off. There is oil in here coming out of that breather. That's that then. Yep. Been changed in a while. Now, of course, it's got the obligatory mountings have snapped off, the rubber mountings. That's okay. I'm not worried about that too much. I don't want to go too far into this. If I have to find out I've got to take out the engine, I don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start it up a bit and see what's happening with this cyclone separator. See if it's see if it's working. I'll just pop the battery back. I'm not sure if you can see the smoke coming out of it. I'll leave it running a bit, we'll keep it warmed up and see what happens. Well, I'm going to try and get those bolts out of the exhaust gas recirculation blanking plate, and they are tight. They are very tight. So we'll put some, if we can, some deep creep in there. We're going to hit it with an air chisel. See if we can get it off. Probably not. Wait a minute. a little bit at a time. It's amazing what a bit of a beating will actually do. Work it backwards and forwards. Yeah, I've got my suspicions about this motor. I don't know. Yeah, well look at that, spins out like they were put in yesterday. There we go, no damage. Let me get the other one off. Now what I did was I actually put the socket on the head of the bolt and hit the chisel here, because otherwise it bells over the end of the socket. Before I disconnect the battery again, remember the vacuum was leaking out of the servo? Well, I'm going to use this. It looks like a dialect, doesn't it? You know, the exterminator. It's just your humble mechanic stethoscope, but you change the end. Instead of having a solid rod and a diaphragm, we've got this cone here so you can hear air leaks or vacuum leaks. It's kind of handy. So let's start the engine up and let's see if it is a seal or it is the servo itself's cracked. It sounds like it's the seal. It looks like it's the seal too. Now the problem with this car is everything on it is brittle. The plastic is brittle. I don't know if it's going to come out or not. Or is the seal? No, I think that's alright. Want some sort of a forky device to pull that out? Or 2 screwdrivers. Oh, that's going to break. Oh, there she goes. Alright. I'm going to start the car up again and put my hand over the valve. So it's not the valve, it's the seal, and the seal is very hard. And I don't think that's going to come out of there without a bit of trouble. Yeah. It's looking bad. I don't think I've got a seal, but if I make a note of the things, say the seal here is all chaffed inside, I'm going to have a look and see if I've got a servo for one of these I can rob a part of.